Today we have with us Michael Bunting, the founder and owner of WorkSmart Australia. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Grant. Good to be here today.
And today we're going to be talking about the Leadership Challenge. So Michael, in brief, what is the Leadership Challenge?
Well, the history of the Leadership Challenge is about 25 years old, and it's a book written by Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner, and it's a bestseller. It sold over 1.5 million copies. But its origins are research-based. It's not a book about a particular leader, but it's a book about what do you need to do to get great leadership results, and that's what its great strength is. It's practical research on what it is that you actually need to do to lead effectively. And Jim and Barry did, I think it was 1,100 hours worth of interviews initially. And what they were interested in finding out is when people were getting exceptional results, what was it they were doing. And from that came out 5 practices, and what they've now called the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. And WorkSmart is the representative of the Leadership Challenge in Australia. And part of our role is to teach leaders in corporations and government and non-profits and hospitals these 5 practices of exemplary leadership, and to give them practical tools to execute on improving or execute on good leadership and to improve their own leadership.
And what are the 5 practices?
So they've got, Kouzes and Posner have given them nicknames, and they've called Model the Way, Inspire a Shared Vision, Challenge the Process, Enable Others to Act, and Encourage the Heart. Now there's a couple of commitments under each of the practices as well, but the essence of them is Model the Way is really about being honest. It's about following through on your promises and commitments. It's about having a clear set of values. It's about living those, walking the talk. It's a pretty obvious practice. It's not that easy to do though, and part of our work is to help leaders understand what are their values, how to stand up for their values, how to be open, why they're not honest with people, the impact of that dishonesty. Most people tell themselves they're honest, but there's still a lot of dishonesty in the workplace. And it's to help leaders appreciate that the erosion of trust, or their leadership is so, their leadership position is so fundamentally dependent on trust. If their constituents or their team members don't trust them, pretty much all the other 4 practices become irrelevant. We can define leadership as voluntary followership, meaning that people actually want to be led by you. There's a great article in Harvard Business Review called Why Should Anybody Be Led by You? And the first principle is because you're honest, because you walk the talk, because you don't ask people to do what you wouldn't be prepared to put yourself through, and that people trust you. That's why. It gives you the right to lead others. So that's the first practice. The second practice is Inspire a Shared Vision. Again, this is a very well-known subject, vision, but it's a challenging subject for leaders. In fact, it's the worst scoring practice from 1 million leaders around the world, is inspiring a shared vision. And the challenge for leaders in the area of vision is leading from a place of a deep passion or a deep belief in what they're doing. It's not some corporate goal. It's not some should. It's not from a place of what I should be doing. It's what I really want to leave behind. It's about the legacy that they want to create. It's about the kind of team or organization they want to build. It's a little bit like parenting in a sense, leading a real visionary life. It's you prepare to suffer for your children if you're a parent. You're prepared to do things that are difficult and menial for the sake of their development. You care so deeply. And our challenge, particularly in the Australian market, is to help leaders connect with or find what it is that they're really passionate about. Because the operative word is inspire a shared vision. And it's very difficult to inspire anything if you're not inspired yourself. So, and that's quite a bit of work to get to that place of inspiration. And we've had some really interesting moments with our clients where they've come to this pivotal moment where the team has told the CEO, your vision is pretty boring. I know it sounds good and it's stuck up on the wall or it's on a PowerPoint slide, but we don't believe you. And so people need to believe that the leader is actually inspired by the vision. It's not something you can fake. So that's what the second practice is all about. The other skill in that Inspire Shared Vision is being able to help other people realize their dreams. So it's a combination of feeling inspired about what you do, finding what that is, and then helping others click into that same inspiration, the what's in it for them. That's a great skill of leaders, is to help people feel like they're going to realize something of their own dreams by the organization or the team achieving the bigger vision. The third practice is challenge the process. And there's two key pieces in that. One of them is about change and innovation, literally challenging the processes of the business, of the way we market things, the products we develop, the way we run emergency rooms in hospitals, the way we treat our staff. It's the willingness to change, to shift things. And it's also creating a healthy learning environments. So in order for companies to flourish in the area of growth and learning, which is part of the innovation process, the leader's job is to make it safe and understand the dynamics of learning and adult growth. So it's both a combination of straight-out innovation and change, as well as healthy learning environments. What's interesting about Challenge the Process is it's not necessarily a big bang or a big workshop or a big idea, although it can be that sometimes. It's often just simple, incremental changes, a way of life almost. The fourth practice is enable others to act. And again, this has two key pieces to it. Good leaders collaborate. They know that they can't get things done just by themselves. So they're really good networkers. They collaborate with other parts of the business, if it's will, or the other organization, clients, suppliers, other teams. So it's that building of trust skill again, which is related to model the way, but it's also about empowering others, being willing to hear their feedback, being willing to shift around their feedback. And the other key piece enabling others, of course, is empowering your own staff, your own team members. So giving them some autonomy, but at the same time not abandoning them. The coaching skills is a very important piece of enabling others to act. Giving them clear guidelines and milestones, and so giving them some structure within which to create or have their own autonomy, and at the same time not abandoning them. That's what that practice is fundamentally about. And the last practice is encouraging the heart, which is often overlooked in most leadership models. And it's just a simple act of saying thank you. It's the expression of belief in people's skills, in their capacity, in their willingness to do things. So in a sense, I have a colleague that's struggling at the moment with transitioning into a new area of work, which is quite difficult for him, or it's challenging. And if I'm a leader that's interested in encouraging the heart, it's continually expressing confidence in his ability to do it, and also being willing to equip him or spend the time with him in making sure that he doesn't fail. So and then when the wins come through, it's taking the time to actually celebrate, taking the time to actually express deeper appreciation for each of the staff members. And we've seen some beautiful examples, really simple things. The example that comes to mind is one of our leaders on one of our programs last Christmas decided to actually write a very specific note of thanks to each of his staff members on a Christmas card. And he noted specifically there the things that they had done that leader had really appreciated. And in his own words, he was completely blown away at what an impact that had on his staff and how much more engaged and motivated they were. So those are the 5 practices. It's modeling the way, which is about integrity, honesty, trust, following through, having values, living values, inspiring a shared vision, having a deeper connection with something that's important to you, helping other people realize their interests, challenging the process, innovation, change, but with structure, creating healthy learning environments. The fourth one is enabling others to act, empowering people, creating cross-functional trust, systems thinking. And the fifth one is celebrating wins, thanking people, expressing appreciation for them and their efforts, and expressing confidence in their abilities. And the practices tend to interrelate with each other. So that's a summary of the leadership challenge and the 5 practices.